Hello and welcome to the Rhythm Factory. I'm Eddie C, and together with my co-host Peter D, we're going to bring you in touch with people in and around the music business. This is the podcast that takes you up close and personal. Hi, I'm Eddie C, and this is the Rhythm Factory podcast, the podcast that takes you up close and personal. On my right, my co-host, Mr. Peter D,
Hi there.
And this time on my left, our special guest, Mr. Curtis Darby, coming from out the USA, and now established in Harlem.
Yeah.
Harlem in Holland, as you would say.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, not New York Harlem.
No, exactly. a different kind of Harlem, you know. So, well, welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you very much.
It's been such a long time since we've seen each other.
Because you moved away.
I went just not far away, but just south of the border, as you would say.
Yeah.
You know, I know you were born in Louisiana, and you grew up in New Orleans, and then later lived in Philadelphia.
No, I was born in Louisiana. Well, right. I was born in a hospital in Lake Charles. My father then moved to New Orleans. Okay. And I was 9 months old when we took the train to Philadelphia. Okay. So I grew up in Philly.
So you actually a Philly boy.
Yeah. But my family roots is Southern, so you know you get all that stuff from them, the voodoo stuff and
yeah, I know all about it. Yeah.
Hog-mogs.
Hog-mogs and chitlins, cornbread.
Yeah,
collard greens,
grits.
Grits, absolutely. Yeah. Man. So all that great food, you know. But I mean, knowing that your roots and everything, how did you end up in Harlem? The Dutch city of Harlem, of all places.
Well, some woman I know
got
me over here.
Always a woman.
No, my wife is from Harlem. My wife Bianca's from Harlem, so her family's there. So our children were basically missing their grandparents, and also her parents were getting older too, so we made a decision. And also, the American economy at the time was tanking it. So we made a decision to come back here, to let our kids grow up near a family and feel comfortable. Right. And also, the language is important. So, you have to live here to learn how to speak Nederlands properly,
Yeah.
So they needed that. But now they're losing their English, which is pissing me off. So I'm going to have to take them back to America for 5 years so they can get their English back and lose their Dutch.
No, but I mean, you're speaking, of course, both languages pretty fluently now.
Well, no, I took like a year of Nederlands, and I have no idea what I learned. Nou, ik spreek klein beetje Nederlands. Ik begrijp al een beetje Nederlands. Maar Amerikanen can speak niet zo goed Nederlands. Because of the accent.
Oh, no.
I can't say Q. Q. So that's still I ain't cool.
All right.
Q, yes, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been living over here long in English, so I got it down. I still have an accent though when I'm speaking.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
But
it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Well, we always say, I always say, you can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So,
But Curtis, you come from a Christian background.
Yeah, my father was a minister. My mother grew up in the church. My grandfather was a minister, and
I am a singer.
And my whole family. Look, we were all singers. Almost all my family members. When I look down it was 13 of them on my mother's side. All my aunts and uncles can sing, and all my cousins can sing. So it's part of our DNA. We're singers, and because we sang from people. My mother was a well-known singer, and my father was a well-known singer in Louisiana. That's why they got married. So we learned how to sing the correct way. Right. We didn't have to. We learned it. Osmosis. So we must say. So that's what you learned.
Yeah. But you were raised with gospel music.
Oh, gospel, yes, definitely.
And,
yes.
But you also learned to play percussion and the trumpet. You played percussion for a while, and you stopped doing that because of a nasty incident.
No, well, I didn't stop playing percussion. I just stopped playing with those bums. that was it.
But after that, you decided to be
I still play my... No, but I started playing trumpet, because of the band thought that we had too many percussionists, and I don't know who came up with that damn idea, but I should have just beat him up or something. But then my brother had a trumpet sitting around, so I started playing horn. And then after a year, I was I had a knack for it, so I excelled with it.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of money and met a lot of people with my horn. But and the funny part is that most people didn't know I sang because I was always doing this.
What made you decide to become a soul singer that you are right now?
I'm always a singer. I've been a singer my whole life.
That's because of your background and the way you were raised.
Look, I was my own private radio station. That's what I used to say. If you know me, I'm singing all the time. I've been doing that since I was a kid. Yeah. And I'm walking down the street. That's my radio. Yeah. I'm singing all the time. Unconsciously, some people might say. Yeah. So, see, we try to listen to the movie.
But you still play a trumpet too, right?
I play a baritone horn now.
Okay. Wow.
And also harmonica as well.
And harmonica.
Yeah, the blues harp.
Yeah, we listened to a nice blues tune you were playing the harp on.
Yeah, the blues harp,
Yeah.
You know, you got this big love for music, and I know. I mean, we've set hours. You know, just the two of us. You know, over a nice drink, talking about the music, and I mean, I know a lot about how you feel about it, but can you tell our listening and viewing audience about how you, your whole philosophy about how you look at music and see it and feel it and live it?
Well, for me, you know, I believe that, first of all, practice makes perfect. You know, you have to work at if it's a gift, you still have to polish it up. You got to get it working. You have to understand, first of all, what you're doing, and you have to indulge in music, not just one style. But you have to understand classical. You have to understand, you don't have to do it well, but you have to understand. You have to understand jazz in relationship to blues and rock in relationship to fusion. This makes you a better musician because now you can internalize these things, and when you start writing or singing, you can make it. It's like, Aduramuste Christe et benedicimus. I learned that because I've studied classical also. So the thing about music for me is that, first of all, it's a lifestyle. And I'm really a musician. I like rehearsals. I like touring. I like learning new material. And I like hanging out with musicians because they're more interesting and crazy most of the time. That crazy side. But at this moment right now, I'm doing a lecture called The Journey of Soul Music. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm doing this for a reason because our generation is forgetting where music came from. They're forgetting what it takes in order to be a quality musician. And the audience are at the position where they don't know what good music is and they don't know what bad music is. I hear people singing, I'm like saying, "Ooh, he's on television. Ooh, you need to go to some schools and work on your vocals a little bit because I don't know where you get that from." But the public is accepting it. So if there's no demand, if nobody forces you to do anything, you're not going to learn anything. So like I said, my lecture is for like schools that deal with music majors. It's also for universities, maybe for theater, maybe whatever. But it's about where music came from, and especially where soul music came from. And I believe that the plantation from slavery, where black people were living at, that situation created this unique music. And that's where, and then it sprung from gospel to blues to jazz to R&B, and it progressed. And so my idea is to show them, even vocally show them and instrumentally show them the difference between these two music and why they were developed. But that's my love for music. I think the children need to know this. And the audience need to get back to quality music.
Right.
And I don't have a problem with rap and hip-hop and anything. I'm just saying, but I have a problem with bad music and bad musicians. I do.
What are you considering bad music, for example?
People who don't know what the hell they're doing. They're on the stage.
Well, let's say if you're looking at the charts, let's say, for example, let's say, what's your opinion about?
Okay, come on, here you go. I'm all about that bass, about that bass. I'm all about that bass. No, okay. All the songs that they're making now are lullabies, like "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, How I Wonder." If you listen to it, you hear lullaby.
You hear a lot of, especially in a lot of hip hop music, you hear that as well. Yeah.
Listen, it's their generation, so I'm not going to knock them, but I ain't going to buy that. I'm not going to buy that crap. And I'm trying to teach my children to be better musicians.
Right.
Be different about, to learn their art, to use their skills.
Well, I mean, are there any of the young young musicians that you say, okay, let's say for example, if we take, we mentioned his name before in an earlier show, for example, Kanye West or what
he's an educated knucklehead. I don't know when he shut up. He got too many mental problems. He got to put him on his shelf.
Well, let's take some Bruno Mars, for instance.
But listen, now Bruno Mars is hitting it. And you know why he's hitting it? It's because his parents taught him the old school.
Yeah, but
and
you can hear it.
That's you can hear it.
Yeah.
And he got a band.
Yeah.
That's
a major difference, man. Yeah, absolutely.
He got a band.
Yeah.
And he's kicking it. He's kicking it. And, he's a drummer, too. He's a musician.
Yeah, pretty good one.
Yeah, pretty good one. So that's
drum solo on the Super Bowl show. And
John Legend is a good, he's a hell of, the guy, good, he got his own style. He writes his way. And he's a businessman, too.
Yeah, good businessman.
He's a good businessman.
Musician and composer.
Yeah.
He's that new generation, what I call a new generation, real songwriters.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but that's the point. You can't deny the roots of music, and you can't deny history. We were talking about it. When I was at your place, we both have a big record collection.
Yeah.
From all kinds of genres actually.
Yeah,
and,
I got
way back in.
Still an old vinyl man. Records. I went to his place and we were working on some of the questions. And he has also said, man, young guy got all these records here,
You have to.
Yeah, you have to. You got to listen to it.
That's called that's knowledge.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? The funniest thing that used to happen to me when I would come here and perform, when I came to Holland and perform, is that we would do, say, a funk song. Whatever. And then the guy would get a solo. And he would say, I said, that's heavy metal. We're doing funk. It's a different movement. And most people said, I don't understand it. I said, okay, imagine we're doing a classical piece, and then I jump up and say, I said, that's a fit. Because the first one is let's get funky.
Yeah.
That's fit. So the thing is that people are not willing to learn what fits with the music. How you good? But you learn that when you get different styles of music. Then you say, the guitar player does this, the drummer does this in his music, the drum does this in his music, the percussion does this, and that's how you learn. When you listen to one song, you say, I got it. I'm going to play this in every song, in every style of music.
Yeah.
That's my style.
Listen, Curtis, I want to ask you something totally different, actually. Because we saw when we were preparing for the interview, we saw that you have a master's degree.
Doctor's degree in psychology.
Degree in science of psychology.
General psychology.
Can you tell us a bit more about it and how it influences your music or vice versa?
Music is well, first of all, the stage is my therapy. And music is psychology. Psychology is basically life, understanding of life. And so for me, this comes in. This is a good tool. So when I write, I'm thinking about emotions and how people are affected and what happens when you feel like this. So all of these things play a big role in my music. And when I sing, because I'm passionate, I call myself a soul singer because I'm passionate. So when I sing about something, you hear what I'm singing. You hear, even if you didn't understand me, you hear my voice go high or gets soft or gets sad or gets warm or gets brilliant. And that's part of being a student of psychology. That's a student of life, basically.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What would your advice be, for example, with your background, of course, and with your study, I know you applied it on the stage, but let's say a lot of our youth are now stuck with the multimedia, the computers and everything, and what would be your personal approach, how to get them back into the guts of making music?
Take that stuff out of their hands. Get rid of those phones, get rid of those laptops, and get them some sticks and some skins and some horns and a book and sit them in a room and lock the door. And learn your stuff. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Listen, you know what? I'm going to change just a little bit because I'm working on a project right now, and it's also about the media. But it disturbed me. Cyberbullying and bullying that has become what I consider normal in our society. It's really a strange phenomenon. So I'm, at this moment right now, using my psychology and my music, and I'm trying to make a program to help children, but I want to get them off those things first, because I think it's our responsibility as parents to limit the use. I mean, it'd be like giving your child a loaded gun. You know they're going to shoot somebody, if not themselves. But I mean, you imagine you give a child a computer with access to everything. You know we ain't going to do the right thing. We're going to be looking at porn, and we're going to, you know, making texts, and, you know. So, but it needs to be governed. So I'm trying to use my music as well as a means to try to bring, I'm going to write a song about bullying too, but a means to try to help our children find some normality in the society again. And I think it's really important. So
that's very important, because the kids, like I said, you can't even sit at in a restaurant at a dinner table, and you, yeah. I've sat in a restaurant and I see, it's supposed to be a vacation time, and you see everybody at the dinner table
like this
with a smartphone, and there's no conversation. And I'm thinking, are they writing to each other what they're going to eat? This is what's on the menu. I mean, so we've become very dependent on those things, and it's a pity, because you kind of lose the essence of what it is to make music. And there's a lot of there could be in the future that could be actually a key factor in saving the industry in the future, because the industry has gotten lost into the whole download thing. It's nice to a degree, but I miss, like I said, I miss holding those records in the hand, and reading all the musicians that played on it and who produced it.
And the problem is that the record companies didn't have anything to do with this. It was kind of like an underground revolution kind of thing. The audience created this situation, and now the record labels are in trouble because they're trying to keep up, and because they don't know what's going to happen next. Yeah, I'd like to get kids back into, you know, I'm like I said, I've worked maybe 40 years with children, and I think, like we say, children are our future, and we're still responsible to pass on the knowledge that we have so we can create a better world for them, because they need our help. And so that's why I'm trying to come up with projects where I can give back to the youth that we have, if they're interested to listen. I'm not going to beat anybody over the head, but if they're willing to listen, if they're looking for something, maybe I can be that beacon that they can say, well, at least this guy's doing something about it. You know, maybe we can get something. You know.
Well, yeah, you're doing actually the same thing.
Yeah, I know he's always up to something.
I mean, yeah, well, and as a teacher, I mean, you and I both teach. We have, our students, and we feel the responsibility to pass on, the right things, and tell about the history. Show the right things, how to make music, how to work together, in a band situation and stuff like that. So yeah.
So I'm writing a book. I'm also writing, but so I got a lot of projects because my head is doing like this, but I'm trying to do a lot of projects where I can interchange some of the information to make this one work and to make that one work. The company that I'm starting is called ABC. It's called the Anti-Bullying Consultant Agency. That's the ones that I'm making. But I'm really going to try to work with, now I'm using my degree, because putting a doctor behind it makes it legitimate. But I really want to help the children, because nobody's responsible. The schools don't want to be responsible. The parents don't want to be responsible. So let's teach them something and let them know that this is not normal. Wouldn't it be nice to have happy children for a change?
Absolutely.
Maybe they'll start playing music.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll start singing when they go home. Da, 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 da. I think I should be a musician.
Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, it's a slow process, and a lot. I think not only the children need to be, let's say, more involved and educated, but the parents as well. Because
we just need to whip them. That's all. But
the parents need to be made more aware of it. And but before we go, because we don't want to cut you off, because we can go on, man, and I'm sure we'll have more talks in the future. We always ask our guests if they've had any awkward or funny situations during their, let's say, the time of their career. Or
I thought about a couple of things, but I don't know if it's funny or not. But no, I do have something funny. But I'm going to embarrass somebody. Well, I had a friend of mine. This was really interesting for me, anyway. I had a gig. It was a gig on Queen's Night, Koning in the Nacht. I had told these guys 3 months in advance. I said, "There's going to be a gig. This is how much you're going to get. Yeah. We're going to rehearse for like 2 weeks, and then if you have any problems, you can come anytime, and we can go over any material with you." So, okay. Time goes by. The night, I think it was like a day before the gig, and the guitar player said, like, "Yeah, can we go over some stuff?" So we did go over some stuff. So we did the gig. The gig was about to begin. So we're sitting at the table. So the guitar player was using an acoustic, because we had 2 guitar players. He was using an acoustic guitar, and then he came there with an acoustic guitar with all these effects on it.
Right.
I said, "Well, we rehearsed the material," and then he was actually, we was going to do a song called "Start It Up." He said, "And the song we're going to do is Stir It Up." I said, "See, you don't even know the material." So we start playing, and I'm looking in the corner, and this guy's playing like, it sounded like a gypsy with samples. And it didn't even sound like a guitar anymore. And he's like, but that's because he didn't know the material. So, okay, the first gig was over. He was happy because it was over, and he really thought he did a great job. It was a beam like this. We were on the stage. He jumps off the stage, hits the beam, knocks himself out.
Oh, man.
I said, good. He didn't know what he was playing anyway. So.
Or maybe when he wakes up, some of those brain cells got changed around, you know?
Well, no, but he played it out. He played this out really good. He did, and then there was another girl, I know who, she's dramatic. She was like, saying, help. So the ambulance come. They stopped the whole performance. The ambulance came, take him to the hospital. He goes to the hospital. We did the rest of the gig. 3 minutes before we leave, he comes in the door, before we're finished, and he says, "Do I get paid?" I said, "You've been in the hospital all night. You get paid." You were so sick you had to go to the hospital, but you made it back in time to get the money.
Right.
I paid him. So that's it. That's the story.
Oh, well. Okay, man.
I thought that was funny. Yeah. He's still mad at me because I made a big deal about it.
Well, man, listen, it's been a pleasure to have you on our show. Mm-hmm. And if you want to know any more information about Curtis Darby and what he's doing, how to get in contact with him, please go to our webpage, which is on Facebook. You can also write an email to the Rhythm Factory podcast at gmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter, and that's at JazzOldMusic. And Peter is on
PB Department.
Yeah, and when you watch these episodes, we would really love for you to hit the like page on the YouTube channel and subscribe on our YouTube channel, because we're going to be, of course, coming in the future with some different shows as well, and a lot of these wonderful artists like Curtis today and some of the other artists we've had in the past and will have in the future. So please tune in. Click the like page on the Facebook page, on the YouTube page, as well as your likes on the Facebook page, because we need those likes so that we can eventually get some sponsors, and so we can continue to bring some of these wonderful artists in to not only tell you about their experiences, but maybe give you some ideas and tips about or things that you didn't know about the music business. So that was it for this week. I want to thank my co-host, Mr. Peter D, and our special guest, Mr. Curtis Darby.
Thank you very much.
My name was Eddie C, and we're going to leave you with these wise words. Music is more than just playing with your hands. It's thinking with your mind, but most of all, projecting it from your heart. Thank you, and see you another time.